allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave.
Public comment dismissed. Please be seated. Welcome everybody to our 2026 annual meeting. My name is Bruce Garrison. I am the presiding vice president for this board. Welcome. I would remind you all to silence your phones, please. We don't really need that distraction. And I want to confirm everybody in the back of the room can hear me all right. I've got a thumbs up. Thank you very much. I would like to call this meeting officially to order. I would like to introduce our sitting board. As I just said, I am Bruce Garrison. I am Vice President and your Treasurer. I'm also Chair of the Landscape and Facilities Committee, and I was on the 2026 Budget Committee. To my left, your right, our Board Secretary is Mr. Tim Davis. He was Town Hall Chair and Governmental Relations Chair. Also to my left, Board Member Steve Merkovich, Personnel Committee Chair, Ways and Means Member, and 2026 Budget Committee Member. On my right, Amy Miller. She is a Ways and Means Member and on the 2026 Budget Committee. Max Allen, Board Member. He is Rec Committee Chair, Landscape and Facilities Member, Long Range Planning Chair, and Cornerstone Committee Chair. Board Member Joel Winier, Architectural Control Chair, IT Committee Chair. He's a Personnel Committee Member and Town Hall Committee Member. Thank you for your service. At this time, I would like to ask our Secretary, Mr. Tim Davis, to give us proof of call and quorum, please.
Proof of call. Okay, here we go. Proof of call, Tim Davis, Secretary of the Board of Directors, pursuant to Article 3, Section 5 of the bylaws of Westbrook Village. Written notice of the annual meeting starting the date, time, and place of the annual meeting was mailed to each of the members out as of February 23rd, 2026, not less than 10 days, not more than 50 days before the date of the annual meeting. I'm going to continue. Proof of quorum. Verification is required pursuant to Article 3, Section 6 of the bylaws of Westbrook Village Association. The ARS 10-3708 quorum must be established through a verifiable count of in-person attendees, verified absentee ballots, and valid electronic ballots. At this time, the number provided to the secretary are not sufficient, documented, professionally supported to certify quorum under Arizona law ARS 10-11601 and 10-11602, require the association to maintain complete and accurate supporting quorum, including ballot counts and attendance records. Accordingly, a quorum cannot be certified at this time, and the count must be verified in accordance with Arizona statute before the meeting may proceed.
Okay, with that said, Mr. Davis, what are your expectations with that comment?
I have a copy from a copy machine with written information on it. I do not have a proper certification.
Those numbers will change. We haven't added the in person.
Okay, so at this time, I have another copier item. We do not have anything that says mail-in ballots. We do not have a count for tonight.
There were 0 mail-in ballots. We have quorum.
Okay, so today it was asked to have proper documentation for tonight. That email was sent out yesterday and this morning. I have not received anything. Today I've received a copy. So if you could run to the office, send me an email or something that verifies quorum from the proper voting place, e-voting, I'd be more than happy to look at it.
That is from e-voting, right there in front of you, sir.
It says letter of certification.
I understand you say you don't have a wet signature on anything, is that correct?
That is letter of certification in front of you, sir.
Based on this copy, I'm going to say that we met quorum, and what we need to do is we need to have an audit.
Before Mr. We have a certification. Mr. Garrison, I handed you the certification letter from Vote Now that came in this afternoon at 3:44 p.m. confirming that we have quorum as of close of voting last night. That certifies quorum.
I agree with that statement, Tim.
In-person votes have not been added. They are being tallied right now.
Be advised that the general manager received an email from me and did not respond. Bruce, you're the president, I'm the secretary, I made my comment, you decide what you want to do.
Okay, with that said, I believe we have met quorum, and I believe our vote is valid. Moving on. I would like to receive a motion to approve last year's minutes from our 2024 meeting. Excuse me, 2020. Man, I can't catch up with a year already. 2025, thank you. Anybody from the floor, I'll accept it. Yes, ma'am?
A motion that we approve the minutes.
May I have your name and subdivision, please?
Sorry, East Nashville, Meadow Bridge. I move that we approve the minutes from the board meeting last year, March 26th. Annual meeting, 2025.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. May I have a second?
I'll second that. Janine Dubois, Hidden Falls.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, with that said, I will call this to a vote. All those that wish to approve these minutes, please say so by saying aye. Aye. Thank you. Any opposed? Thank you. It passes unanimously. Thank you very much. I'd now like to introduce the directors, or the folks that volunteered to run for our board. They are, to my right, Mr. Max Allen. I lost him. Bob Canero. There you are. Mark Giddens. And I am your fourth, Bruce Garrison. Thank you. Next, we'll move on to our general manager's report. Our general manager, if you don't know, is Miss Karen Jones. She has been working for Westbrook for at least 15 years and been our general manager for 13. We appreciate the work she's done. Please welcome Karen Jones.
Thank you, Bruce. I think that means I started when I was 21. Thank you all for coming this evening, and thank you to all of your board of directors. Bruce already asked about silencing your cell phones, so I can check that off my list. Good evening, respected Westbrook Village residents. Thank you for attending the 2026 Westbrook Village Association annual meeting. First, I'd like to thank you all for the honor of being your general manager for this exceptional community. Your continued inspiration, input, and conviction are truly appreciated. It has been a year since we gathered in this beautiful ballroom to discuss the health and future of our adored community. Seated before you this evening are your neighbors and friends, as well as your volunteer board members. Often people forget that your board members are also homeowners. They have an vested interest in the community as well, just like yourself. But if we ever counted how many volunteer hours that they put in being on your board of directors, I think we would be surprised. I think they sign up with thinking, oh, I can show up to a meeting or two once a week, talk to a board member present or past, and they will tell you that it's quite a lot. It's quite a bit of input, and it's important. So thank you to the board of directors. On to our extraordinary community. Westbrook Village continues to be one of the leading unique active adult communities in the valley. Some recent quotes that I found from people in the area or online come to mind. The prestigious Westbrook Village Adult Living Community, Peoria's most desirable active adult community. Enjoy resort-style living at Westbrook Village. See why Westbrook Village is such a sought-after lifestyle. Experience refined living in Westbrook Village. Experience the pinnacle of active adult living in premier Westbrook Village. And there were many more. Those aren't my comments, those are other people's comments. I think they're very important because that's how people look upon Westbrook Village. Why do they look, or why do they feel like that? Because of you. because of the community that you've created. This complements our great community. What is the definition of community? It's a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common interests, attitudes, and goals. True community is not a place where a few lead and the rest follow. It's a reciprocal exchange of wisdom, where each voice matters and each presence adds something essential. We come together not to correct one another, but to learn from each other, to sit in shared questions without rushing towards consequences. I feel that this definition defines Westbrook Village very well. We are one great community. So to talk about the long-range planning of our community, I often get asked, what are we going to do next? What are you doing? This needs to be upgraded. We need to move this, we need to do that. The Long-Range Planning Committee was established 11 years ago. And what a fabulous job they've done. I'd like to just look back at a few of the projects that the Long-Range Planning Committees and the Board of Directors has accomplished. Sorry, I need to turn around for this. Does anybody remember the blue tile? Yeah. Remember the blue tile? They were constantly falling off? The brass letters? Okay, now we've come a long ways. Does anybody remember the green pond? Yes. The country club entrance? Okay, now we have an iconic image. Does anybody remember this ballroom before? Look at this. Look at us tonight. We've come a long ways. The lake swimming pool. Anybody remember that? Look at us today. The Vista swimming pool. Look at us today. And last but not least, look at the new improved fitness center. I would like to ask for a round of applause for the Long Range Planning Committee and what they've done for this community. But I don't think they're finished. This past year, they've sent out 3 surveys, one to every resident, one to fitness center users, and one to new homeowners. We had great input. We have great feedback. They are now putting that information together to look to the future. If you ever have a free Wednesday afternoon, like today, or I'm sorry, in the morning now at 9 a.m., feel free to come to a long-range planning committee. They do a lot of great work and they have a lot of great ideas. So, looking forward to the future at Westbrook Village. Part of that, please continue to show compassion and kindness each day. A smile and a wave can really make someone's day. Each day I see people out walking their dogs or walking with their friends or just sitting in the reflection garden or at the commons and just enjoying community. And that's what this is about. Kindness begins here at home in Westbrook Village. The happiest people in the world are those who make others happy. I think this should be a Westbrook slogan. I would be remiss if I don't thank our Westbrook Village posse. Our posse are the heart of the community that volunteer numerous hours, time, money, and efforts. Just last week, the posse turned us on to a situation in the community. They were out doing their routine checks and came upon it, immediately called the police department. Can we please give the Westbrook Village posse a huge round of applause? They are truly our eyes and ears of our great community. If you're thinking of leaving this great community because we're getting in triple digits and you're leaving for the summer, please be sure to stop by the posse office and fill out a form. They'd be happy to check on your property all the summer. Okay? They're out there whether it's 100 degrees or 120, right, Bob?
That's right.
So again, we're so lucky to have the Westbrook Posse. Did you know that the HOA cannot give any money to the Posse? They are fully funded on donations. They get no funding from the HOA. Same thing for your Westbrook Library. They do all of that on donations and volunteers. So, if you see the Posse out, wave at them. If you go into the library, thank our volunteers. People often ask me, how do you afford all of this policing and security? And we don't. We're just very gracious to have the volunteers. Service Direct Landscaping. How does the landscape look to everybody? I think they're doing a good job. As Bruce stated, I'm on my 15th year at Westbrook Village. They are the third landscape company we have had in that time, and I truly believe they've been the best that we've had. They've faced a lot of problems. Go ahead. When you're working in a 42-year-old Phase 1 community, you'd be surprised at what they find. They pull the grass back, they pull the roots back. It's amazing what they find, but they take it and they do it with a smile on their face and they fix it and keep us up and running. Thank you to SDL. We don't have anybody here with them for tonight, but thank you to them. Let's review some of the great projects completed in 2025. Despite the rising cost of water, landscape utilities, materials, chemicals, and more, we have continued our fiduciary duty to not overspend. Our reserve specialist mentioned that a roof replacement might have cost $50,000 a decade ago, but easily could cost $85,000 plus today. That's a difficult number to swallow, but your Ways and Means Committee, your landscaping facilities, and the staff is working hard to make sure we're getting the best for your dollars. We did interior refresh, including painting and lighting, continues throughout the community. We did a full grind out and replacement of the asphalt in the RV lot this year. How many of you are in the RV lot? Have you been in there? It's much better. When you drive across it, you don't feel like you're going across a washboard. Fitness Center update. We got that one done just in time for the end of the year. That was supposed to be done by the calendar of end of the year, and Sean and his team made it just in time. Thank you for that. We did a big project on the exterior of the Vistas Rec Center, the full paint project and the whole complex. These are just to name a few of the projects accomplished in 2025. All of this with the day-to-day maintenance of all the facilities, which are open 363 days a year, 5:30 in the morning till 10 at night. We do this all with a staff of 36 people. That's difficult. It's a lot of scheduling and puzzle pieces. Our volunteers remind us of why we work so hard and why this village is so dear to us. Thank you for your time, energy, and smiles. Next, I would like to bring up the Westbrook Village team. If you would all come up front. They love this. They beg me every year not to have to do this. Every single year. Please don't make us come up front. Did you Barb's having knee surgery, so she's going to sit at the table. So first of all, our minute taker, Bob Piat. Your facilities manager, Sean Gornstone. One of our newest employees, Ashley Lawrence. She's your communications liaison. And our beautiful face, friendly face at the front desk, we have Jane Falk. And my left hand, right hand, brain, left foot, right foot, Renee Larson, Executive Administrative Assistant. Our Recreation Center's Assistant, Colby Smithwick. I guess our newest employee, I thought it was Jane, but she's been here before, but not as an employee. Our new Assistant General Manager, Miss Marcy Rennell. And our Recreation Center's manager, the lady with the fun hats that's got all the energy, putting on the fun events, Denise Murphy. And our extraordinary Donna Chakrabarty that does everything, whether it's volunteering, filling in for sick staff, vacations. She is one of a kind and does it all, Donna Chakrabarty. We also have a full maintenance staff. They prefer not to come to this. I let them get out of that. But again, 36 of us and 7,400 of you. I think they do a great job. Thank you. You've often heard me say you purchased your home in Westbrook with an expectation. And that's a lifestyle. It's our job to ensure that happens by maintaining the common areas, fair enforcement of the governing documents, handling minor neighbor-to-neighbor issues, monitoring revenue and expenses, entertaining you, answering your questions, most important, listening and guiding you, the residents of Westbrook Village. Can we make all 7,400 of you happy? We try. Don't we, you guys?
We try.
Yes. But we want to do what's best for the community as a whole, and we pledge to do our very best, give it our all, for you, the residents here at Westbrook Village. Thank you.
Okay, if you didn't notice, I'm wearing two hats tonight. I am also your treasurer for the last fiscal year, and this is my report. Our Ways and Means Committee consists of myself, Amy Millward, and Steve Merkovich. One on each side of me. Our Budget Committee consists of myself, Amy, Steve, Paul Schnetsky, I saw you out here. Would you just stand? Kurt Kimmerling, are you here? Way in the back. Craig Esselon, are you here? I see you. And of course, our wonderful general manager was part of that also. Thank you for your service, you guys. This is our annual meeting financial report for March 18th. 2026. We're going to review the 2025 financials, operating fund review, annual assessments, reserve fund review, and a 4-year look, reserve fund ratios. And also we'll have a forecast for 2026 for our operations and reserve funds. We'll go first with our operation funds. In case you are unaware, we have two funds, operational and reserve, and they are very different funds used for very different purposes. Our operations funds are for our day-to-day operations within our community. They include landscape costs, insurance, employee wages, benefits, repairs, maintenance, and utilities. It is funded primarily by your annual assessment. For this 2026, it was $819. As you can see, they've been steadily rising. In previous years, included in the operation fund budget, is an optional amount to transfer reserve funds in order to continue major improvements in 2025. And in 2025, we had nothing budgeted. 2024, we had 125,000 transferred. 2023 was 225. 2022 was 200,000, and in 2021 was 95,000. Now I have good news about 2025 in a minute. 2026 operating expenses increased 6.9%. Homeowner assessment revenue only increased by 2.9%. And that is determined by our CPI. We do not plan to transfer to the reserve account for 2026 at this time. Our reserve fund is used for major improvements, equipment replacement, and infrastructure maintenance. And it is funded mainly by new homeowner preservation fees, which we've all paid at least once. As I said before, these funds cannot be commingled. One's for one and one is for the other, and that's it. And we are annually audited to ensure that we have proper management of these funds. Here is a summary for 2025. I'll go over it quickly. Member assessments came to $3,112,000 plus or minus. Other revenue was $371,000 for a total of $3,483,000, and that was our revenue for our operating budget. As you see, our expenses came very close to what we took in for operating. Admin was $276,000. Landscaping was $960,000. Staff payroll and benefits are $1.4 million. Pool and rec center expenses are $505,000. And all other expenses came to $245,000. The total expenses for 2025 were $3,448,000. And you put those together, we ended up with a net surplus of $35,000. Now, I just read you the budget numbers. And you'll see the next column more was our actual expenditures. You want me to read them to you, or can you see them? That's what I thought. Okay. Moving on. I'm sorry. I don't want to bore you guys to death. Next page.
You didn't give them the good news. Well, there it is.
It's coming. All right. Operation funds. Fund surplus. We had budgeted nothing for surplus at the year end. But with a little help from a employee retention credit and a 2024 year-end surplus, we were able to transfer $240,000 to our reserve fund, which is huge. Thank you very much. Additional expenses included increased utilities, water, landscaping, payroll, and taxes. Effective financial oversight is paramount for the success and sustainability of any organization. The Ways and Means Committee, Board of Directors, and General Manager each play critical roles in ensuring our financial integrity and accountability. So thank you to all who are involved with that process. Our 2026 operations fund budget highlights. The 2026 annual assessment increased $23.10. Again, we are limited by our CPI. That came to $819 per home. That was a 2.9% increase from 2025. Current inflation impacts our budget. Cost of supplies, materials, utilities, and water are always rising. Landscaping maintenance contract increase was substantial this year. Staff and wages and benefits always increasing. Other outside services, insurance, computer support, accounting, and payroll. They all affect our budget. And we are doing our very best to stay within our budget. Moving on to the reserve fund. The 2025 reserve fund cash on hand this year at year end was $4,810,000. That's excellent. It is excellent. Reserve fund revenue at a positive variance of $360,000 as a result of resales, operations transfer, and interest income. And your Ways and Means has been very keen on investing money to create additional funds for our reserve fund, and we've been doing very well. The 2025 reserve fund expenditures, we spent $740,000 out of what we had budgeted of $1.2 million. What hasn't been spent is still in the budget, just so you're aware. But with that said, our reserve fund ratio end of year for 2025, and this is current, we had our reserve fund study updated in 2025, is at 88%, which is outstanding. Considering where we were. What is the reserve fund ratio, you ask? Well, the ratio of cash on hand is divided by a fully funded reserve amount, where the fully funded reserve amount is an independent appraisal performed by an outside agency, and that's the reserve fund study that we had done. The industry standard for HOAs is to maintain a 70% ratio as a solid foundation for your community. So we can all be proud we are at 88% right now. Thank you. Here are reserve funds results. I'm going to go down quickly. Cash on hand, as we said before, is $4.497 million. New homeowner preservation fees came to about $761,000. That was with 170 home sales. And there you can see our transfer from the operating, or to the, from the operating fund, I'm sorry. And you can see the interest earned and the grants we received. A big portion of that $109,000 is interest. So the total cash available in our reserve fund was $5,607,000. You can see our expenditures. You want me to read them? Can you see them? Okay. And then you take the fully funded reserve balance from the study and you divide it into the total cash on hand from the end of 2025. That's where that 88% totally funded comes from. Everybody understand? Thank you. Our reserve fund analysis for a 4-year look. This is where money comes from. As you can see, our funding is gradually rising from year to year. We give you a year-to-year comparison going back 4 years. I'll let you all take a look at that and process it. And you'll notice at the bottom, 74% of this reserve fund comes from new homeowners. So that's an integral part of this fund. Everybody see it? Yep. Thank you. Next page is a reserve fund spending history from 2022 through 2025. And as you can see, the numbers can vary quite a bit. If you'll notice, I can speak personally between 2024 and 2025 because there's a lot of ways and means. We didn't spend what was budgeted for either year for 2024 and again for 2025. And those numbers are being moved on to 2026 also. Some of those projects included common wall area repair and paint. That just goes yearly. It just keeps on grinding. We got 18.4 miles of wall that's maintained. So you can't do it all at once, so we just do it year after year. HVAC replacements, we replace them as needed. Our reserve fund study does tell us when they're ready for repair, but we wait till they die.
And it works.
And it works, it does. They react quickly. They're within a day.
21 years for the welder.
Oh, I've just been informed we were at 21 years old on our HVAC in the library. So get ready for that one. If you didn't notice, we painted the entire Vistas complex. Looks great now to have a fresh coat of paint on it. Irrigation is always an ongoing battle here. As we're over 40 years old now, irrigation lines fail. Our major projects were the RV lot pavement project and our fitness center refresh. These are all completed. Our 2026 reserve fund forecast. We always base our budget for this on the sale of 150 new homes. That seems to be a reasonable number for this community. And if you don't know, some preservation fees are waived if we have a homeowner buying it a second or third or fourth home. They don't have to pay it a second or third time. So we have to allow for that too. Let everybody look at those numbers. And I want you to look at the bottom line. Reserve fund per the 2025 updated study shows us we'll be next year at 89% fully funded. Again, good thing. Our major expenditures for this year are going to be the Likeness Fitness Center. This is we're at the very start of this process, so it may not occur this year, but hopefully years to come it will. The Vistas perimeter fence is still in the budget. I want everybody to be aware that it's still there. And our landscape and facilities committee is working on turf reduction and water conservation. And if anybody has interest in that or what's going on there, I encourage you to attend a meeting because the discussion is ongoing And we meet the second Tuesday of every month at 9 o'clock.
Point of order.
Sir?
What, you said that the perimeter fence was still on, it's still being considered?
It's still in the budget, yes.
So is it still being talked about, or has it been?
Not at this point, no.
Can you give us more information on that?
What would you like to know? Right at this point, there is no discussion going on.
Okay, so during a special meeting was voted down.
What was voted down was the project that was presented from SDF. Correct. That means that if the board chooses to, they can reactivate this project.
Even though there was overwhelming response from the community saying it wasn't needed, it wasn't necessary?
Okay, at this point, we're not having a discussion on that. Thank you, sir. Anything else? Okay, in summary. The Westbrook Homeowner Association remains in a solid financial position. Our current revenue minimally supports our operating expenses, which are generated mainly from homeowner annual assessments. 2026 total reserve fund expenditures are expected to be $1.578 million. The 2026 projected year-end balance is to be $4.061 million, and that fully funded ratio is at 89% if we were to spend all those funds. We will continue to maintain a fiscal responsibility and invest in our future. That's the end of my report. Thank you very much. Again, I will turn the mic over to our manager, Karen Jones.
Thank you, Bruce, very well done. So the fun part of the meeting, let's talk about the volunteers. Volunteer of the Year was voted on by within the staff, and it was an overwhelming, unanimous vote for this year's Employee of the Year, Donna Chakravarty. The annual assessment mailing with all the volunteers. She schedules that. She makes sure that it's her and Renee make sure that it gets to the post office on time. And if you don't know that that's a big feat to mail out 3,910 envelopes to every homeowner. They are stuffed by hand and sealed, and great job on that. She also volunteers at the administration office, and she oversees the bingo card sales every month. So again, 2025 Volunteer of the Year, Donna Chakravarty. Now we're here to announce our Employee of the Year. 2025 brought Paul Piercy's 25-year anniversary with Westbrook Village. Paul has been selected the 2025 Employee of the Year. Paul's dedication and hard work for more than 25 years has made Westbrook Village a better place for everyone. Thank you to Paul. Paul does not like big crowds. So when you see him around the vistas or at the lakes, be sure to congratulate Paul on Employee of the Year in 25 years. Thank you to all the resident volunteers. We talk about the board, we talk about our fun events. Let's talk about our standing committees. We have 6 standing committees that meet every month. Some of you have applied to be on those committees. The new board of directors after the organizational meeting, the chairs will be in touch and get all of that set up. So I will turn the microphone back over to Bruce for comments from the floor. And Sean, if we can turn the microphone on, if you'd like to come up to the microphone, that'd be great.
Folks, this is your opportunity to speak to us. And I will open the floor for those who want to come up. Please give your name and subdivision if you would, please. And I ask that you keep your comments under 3 minutes if you could, please. Thank you. Any takers?
They just want cookies.
Oh, we just want cookies? Okay.
I'll be the first. I'm Bruce Miller from Torrey Pines. And my comment is on the clock we've got out front. It doesn't work again. Why don't we just pull it out and make it a nice garden, have flowers in there, be done with it. Nobody needs a clock anymore. You have watches, you have all the cars, the clocks work in the cars now. You just don't need a clock out there. It's a waste of money. It's $60,000 budget for this year. It's crazy.
Okay, I'll clarify your number. 60,000
Or 40,000, whatever it is.
3,000.
It is 3,000. The number that you got is what the previous feature there cost this community. So it's $3,000. And yes, our clock is broken. If anybody didn't notice, unfortunately that part that we need comes from Europe, and it's here finally, and it will be repaired. But thank you for your comment. I appreciate it.
It's a waste of money. I mean,
okay, thank you.
And the other comment I got is, I have to show my card every place in Westbrook. If I don't have it with me, I can't go into the gym. I can't do any of the things in the thing except for the pickleball. Pickleball is open to anybody. Everybody needs to show their card for pickleball like every place else in Westbrook.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? Yes, sir.
My name's Dave Billette. I live in Oakmont Heights, and I would like to go back to the question I asked. There was a special meeting held. I attended it. It appeared to me there was overwhelming disagreement about this fencing. And yet, it's in the budget, which would say to me that that's either extra money in the budget for whatever, but it would seem to me that, are we going forward with that project even though the bulk of the people that attended that meeting were adamantly against it? Because there was no justification that was brought forward to substantiate the need of young kids coming over and things that might be destroyed or whatever from vandalism. I'm totally confused that that would still remain in the budget.
Okay, thank you for your comment. Appreciate it.
I'd like to comment. Can you come back for a second?
Sure.
Can you come back for a second? Thank you so much for your comment. I appreciate that. Overwhelmingly, the people within Westbrook Village do not want to have a fence around that. And we had a town hall on that.
Yes.
It was overwhelming, and I think it was Bruce and Marcy was on was able to present their side, and we presented the other side to that. And you're absolutely right, it was overwhelming to that. So I'm surprised tonight that it's still there. So there's going to be a budget meeting come in September, that time frame, October time frame. You can participate that. And to be honest with you, we need to make sure that's off there. So we need your support. In regard to the gentleman that made, everybody that goes to any of our facilities has to check in. They're supposed to do that. And we all need to be accountable to do that. But that doesn't mean that the pickleball people are not checking in. Thank you so much for your comment.
But just one follow-up to that though. So the budget was approved then before that meeting, and then it just hasn't been taken out, if I understood what the concept?
The money has been in the budget for a perimeter fence for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Steve Eilander from Heatherbrook. Okay, so I saw the employee retention credit, and what I was interested in that was, is that, what kind of life does that, is that something that came out of the COVID?
That is absolutely correct. That came from our COVID era. None of us expected to receive it, and it came. Can't remind me what it was exactly. It was
a lot.
I think it was 171,000 before fees,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Okay.
And we do actually have another credit there. We don't expect to get it, but maybe it'll surprise us again. Who knows? Yes.
Okay. So what I was wondering was, is this recurring or is it going to stop? And because you had a zero going over, but you had that credit, which was awesome, and then which is great. I'm not being critical. I'm just saying, are we planning on getting another credit, or are we planning on not getting another credit?
Well, as the Ways and Means doesn't count on that, those funds coming in. If it comes, it'll be a gift. We can't plan for it. We just don't know where we're at with it.
Makes sense. Thank you.
We do have one more quarter that we did apply for, but again, we're not expecting it. We just don't know what the government's going to do.
Good evening. My name is Jim Sievers. I'm in Hidden Palms, one of the new homeowners here, bought in December of 2025.
Welcome.
A question, and I had the same question with the employee retention credit. Who's the credit coming from?
Federal government.
Federal government?
Yes.
Okay. And then my other question, somebody else brought it up about showing your card. Is there any way we can get an app or put something on our phones? Because, I go to Costco, I don't need to bring my card anymore. I just show my phone and I can get it that way. So has that ever been thought of?
I think the new technology that's out there needs to be looked into. We agree.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Joe, you got anything to say about that kind of stuff?
Yes, regarding the technology, in the past, we have looked into it, and we will continue to look into it. I would like this next year for it to be one of the charges of the board to provide access to all facilities using a card or a phone app, as well as security cameras. The new cameras have AI, which shows faces as well. So hopefully we can move forward. There is a cost to that involved, so it'll have to go through the process, but we are looking into that. Thank you.
All right. No other comments? I would like to share our election results. So you can see, not gonna be up there, I only have it. Okay, we did make quorum. We did have, thank you for the 21 people that came in and voted in person. We have 1,327 homes vote. I don't think numbers of who got what, it really matters. Our elected board for 2026 will be myself, Bruce Garrison, Mark Gittens, Max Allen, and Bob Panero. Welcome to the board. And I would be amiss to say that I need to recognize two board members that are stepping down for now. One is Miss Marcy Renault, your past president of this board. Thank you, Marcy. And our other is our secretary, Mr. Tim Davis. Thank you for your service, Mr. Davis. With that said, thank you for attending. It's good to see your lovely faces. Enjoy Westbrook Village. I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.